Alright, so to give a little context here, in Killer7 Level 5 Part 2 Smile, Gaussian is sent to Coburn Elementary School to uncover the truth about the presidential election. Among other things, this isn't an analysis of the entire level, nor the entire game of Killer7. I just want to talk about my favorite scene that plays here. Well, one of my favorite scenes. We are introduced to Benjamin Keene, the principal of this school. He asks Gaussian to join him for a game of Russian roulette. If Gaussian wins, he'll tell him how to hit on women. If he loses, he must kill the president. Another thing, take note of the music here. The way it's executed in the scene is phenomenal. First, it's simple. A little synth piano, hi-hats, 808 bass, it's basic. During this moment, Benjamin is first to go. He is hesitant, but pulls the trigger anyway. Empty round. His composure is still solid. So far, no breaks. However, when Gaussian is up to bat, he takes aim with no hesitation, no remorse, pulls the trigger like it was business as usual. Side tangent, if I'm playing a wholesome game of Russian roulette with someone and they put the revolver to their head with no fear, remorse, hesitation, pull the trigger, then slide it over like nothing happened, I hope the next bullet is in the cylinder, because if this game won't kill me, they will. This causes the music to shift. The piano is given more notes to play around with. The synth bass, I think that's what that is a little muffled. Benjamin is going up against a man who doesn't fear death. This puts him on the edge, but he reassures himself that he won't die today. Not until the election is over. He mentions how it takes more than some luck to run a country before taking aim and firing. This reverts the music back to its original state during Phase 1. The rush is getting to his head. Benjamin's ego is through the roof. He brags about Lady Luck being on his side. He slid the gun over with gusto, thinking Gaussian would maybe, just maybe, flinch. He doesn't. Now, the synth bass is back, but it's distorted. Now we're greeted with this feeling of dissonance. The piano is distorted, the bass is getting heavier, the tension is rising. In this moment, Benjamin starts to break. Wait a minute. Reciting these three lines that pose an interesting question. What is a country? Who are the people? What are politicians? Well, for starters, a country is a nation that has its own government that occupies a territory. But it begs the question, what makes a country a country? Does it have to be an island? Can a plot of land be considered a country? Who really decides who owns said country if the government for it doesn't exist? Who are the people? The people are the inhabitants of said country, usually following their own rules, having their own language and lifestyle. But who really are the people? Should the people be defined by the country they came from or just the person? Can a country be classified as one? If the people don't exist, anyone can follow the practices of one country without living in it. So, do they count as the people of the country? Or are they traitors of the country? They follow the laws, but they won't live in that country. What are politicians? A politician is a person who's directly involved with politics. Think of a minister, legislator, representative. Bottom line is they work for the government. We know what politicians do, they create policies. But in the context of Killer7, what are politicians? The Japanese have been rigging the votes since the very beginning. These politicians are puppets. They're not real. So Benjamin is asking, what really are politicians? Are they people from the US? Or are they another shadow organization controlling everything? Benjamin doesn't know what any of these terms mean. He doesn't know what he got himself into. He doesn't know about the sacrifice that must be made. He just wanted to become the president. With the second to last chamber left, his dream lies on this trigger pull. Before the empty click echoed throughout the room, the only thing audible was the synth piano and the hi-hats. After he was spared, the entire ensemble returns with a new bass line behind it. Benjamin knows Gaussian has the bullet, His ego is now astronomical. To Benjamin, he's untouchable. He cheated death. Now it's time for Gaussian to bite the bullet. But something happened. In 1836, Samuel Colt designed the Colt Paterson revolver. What was supposed to be a revolutionary sidearm turned into a financial disaster. Later in the year 1842, Captain Samuel Walker was intrigued with the Colt Paterson, so he went to Samuel Colt and pitched a new improvement in its design and power. Thus, the revolver we know today was born, and the Colt Sam Walker lasted up until 1935, where it was replaced by the Magnum 357. One thing about revolvers that make them so iconic is the 6-cylinder chamber. However, 6 is not the only number used for revolvers. Sometimes the cylinder can hold not 4 bullets, not 5 bullets, not even 6 bullets. Sometimes the cylinder can hold 7. And just like that, everything stops. Even the music is confused that Gaussian is alive. However, we know why. After this revelation is made, the music spirals out of control, the dissonance is back, the instruments are overlapping each other sporadically. Benjamin has failed. In his final moments, Benjamin laments how both he and Gaussian are mentally sick. The only time they feel alive is when their lives are at risk. They'll seek ecstasy even if it kills them. For Gaussian, this statement makes sense. He's a hired gun. He has no remorse, sympathy, morals, or principles. Yet for Benjamin, it doesn't make sense. At first, now I understood what he meant. For years, the polls have been rigged by the Japanese. They've been putting people they place into power. Everything hasn't been decided with the Americans' free will. Everything has been planned and the politicians thought for them. He saw this happening. He didn't retaliate. Why? Because they made him a promise. That promise was that they'll make Benjamin the president. He sat back. He followed orders. He played along because he wanted to become the president. Gaussian is a hired gun. He's physically and mentally sick. However, Benjamin is mentally and politically sick. The music ramps it to 11. It's over for Benjamin. Before he pulls the trigger, he tells Gaussian the answer to all of his questions is in the gymnasium. It's up to him to see it through to the end. However, before killing himself, Benjamin tells Gaussian, and us, the viewer, respectively, how to score chicks with 100% success. So let's have a listen.
Women are all the same.